Hello, and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I'm Chris Knerr, Chief Digital Officer of Syniti, a world leader in enterprise data software, and we're partnering with CDO Magazine, MIT CDO IQ, and the International Society of Chief Data Officers to bring you this series of interviews with thought leaders in data and analytics. Today, I have the terrific pleasure of speaking with Aravind Jagannathan, who is Chief Data Officer and Vice President of Business Transformation at Freddie Mac Single Family. Welcome, Jag. So nice to have you on the show today.
Really appreciate it, Chris. Thank you.
Would be helpful, maybe if you could give the audience a bit more context on Freddie Mac as an organization. So Freddie Mac's got it's a unique kind of an organization. It's got a special position in capital markets, and it's kind of an unusual public-private regulatory structure and mandate. So I guess two things within that. One, can you just explain a little bit more, what is the mandate of single family? And then just in terms of Freddie Mac and the uniqueness of the organization, are there some special challenges in your AI and analytics agenda and oversight that are consequent to the uniqueness of that, of the organization?
I appreciate it, Chris. So just, for those that don't know about Freddie Mac was founded as a government-sponsored entity back in 1970. Our mission is we make home possible. Single family deals with the residential side of the marketplace. So we currently manage over 11 million active loans, right, properties, and have a $2.9 trillion balance sheet. So it is a complex and a very, as you can see in terms of scale, large. We also have a multifamily division, which deals more with the commercial side, right, in terms of apartments as such, and then a capital markets area as well that manages our securitizations and trading portfolio. So if I look at it in terms of the three lines of business, it's all geared towards supporting our customers and end customers in terms of making home possible, whether it be a residential or, as I look at it in terms of the commercial side as well.
Yeah, yeah.
When you touch upon, when I think about AI in terms of challenges, in terms of this type of framework, I don't see any special challenges out, when I talk to peers in other companies or other industries. We're leveraging AI and ML in really two broad scope areas within single family: risk management and operational use cases. Our AI approach is an enabler, or I call artificial AI ML, is an enabler within our data strategy and ties again to that overall vision, mission, and business objectives that I laid out earlier. Our team is focused on the operational use cases. And what does that mean? It could be sampling or predictive nature of our loans, or unique loan characteristics or discovery, or leveraging logs to predict system outages. So the operational side of our processes. We start with, when I think about working with our business partners, and Chris, this is, as you and I have had our brief conversation before we started this dialogue, folks need to understand what is possible, right? And then you get into what is the clear business value. This is where I think AI ML is, it's just not going to the theoretical, why we're going to do something. It has to have that clear business value and what is the time relevant manner. So it's just not doing something for the sake of executing. Based on that review and prioritization of use cases with management, then we go execute and then try to see the results. And that helps in terms of the oversight because there's a clear approval process as we try to go execute. And so ultimately, when you think about from a single family perspective, from a risk, from a origination, servicing, operational perspective, AI and ML from a risk management and operational use cases is embedded in terms of improving our processes.
Yeah, it makes sense. Just maybe if I can drill into that a little bit, because this has come up in a number of my conversations. Is it a fair characterization in terms of your paradigm of the defensive and the offensive, that having that defensive, or what I would sometimes call data operations foundation in place, is really critical to being able to scale these kinds of advanced analytics out of the lab and to an industrial level?
100%, because, and this is how I call why we use those terms, building blocks. If you don't know where to go, you don't have that strong governance. And then you think about information risk these days, whether it be from privacy, looking at in terms of just overall meeting your standards and controls, whether it be from How is your data protected across the ecosystem? That's critical as you want to then build out and leverage AI and ML for the end user. So people need to trust and make sure that what you're building upon is strong. So that's why that data governance, what I call that managed content piece, is really that foundational building block. Then you look at your ecosystem, how it's being moved, and then you really get into the empowered business side.
Yeah, I think that's a key observation that and it's very interesting to me as algorithmic, as business becomes more algorithmic, and especially where it's playing a social function like you are, that trust in the data is absolutely critical, because if you don't trust what went in, you're not going to trust what came out. And when you're making consequential decisions, as you are in this business, that trust in data is just super important.